All right, here we are. Spring is finally here, and as most people probably know, there's spring bear hunting going on across the West right now. Most exciting time of the year. Absolutely love spring bear hunting. And this video is going to be all about sort of considerations or things to look for when you're trying to pick out, your perfect spring bear hunting rifle. Obviously, I have three of my favorites right here. Not going to say at all in this video that you have to use exactly this, cartridge, this rifle, this scope, this whatever. Just three different kind of rifles that I've used on spring bear hunts. Caveat, have not used this one on a spring bear hunt yet, but why I would maybe use these and use cases that you guys consider too when trying to select your perfect spring bear hunting rifles. Before we dive into individually talk about each one of these rifles, let's give you a quick overview. I have a Browning 300 Rum, Browning 6.8 Western, and then a Sig Sauer Cross Sawtooth Magnum in 7 PRC. And yeah, we'll just dive right in. All right, so the first rifle I want to talk about on spring bear rifle considerations is my pride and joy. Again, we'll start it off by saying what I said earlier. I do not mean by any means you need to have this exact same rifle, but this is one of my favorite rifles of all time. This is my Browning X-Bolt long range. It's a 300 Rum, and it's taken a lot of bears. It's on the heavier side, as most people know. Talked about this rifle quite a bit. I'm just going to show you guys the weight here real quick of this exact setup. Get it all on there. And 14 pounds, 2.6 ounces. So why would you take a rifle like this spring bear hunting? Well, this is going to be a rifle I'll talk about in a hybrid sense. This could be a great setup right now, a little heavier rifle. If you're hunting spring bear country, that's a bunch of logging roads. All right, logging roads are very effective for spring bear hunting, and you might be hunting out of a truck quite a bit, walking down closed logging roads, hunting off closed logging roads, shooting across those situations, and weight might not be a consideration for your style of hunt. So that type of hunt, you might want a little heavier rifle setup, just because for me, they shoot really well heavy, and I don't mind packing around the extra weight if I know I'm going to be super stable on that shot. Like I always say, I feel like I owe it to the animal to make the best shot possible. And for me, a lot of these larger rifles allow me to do that quite well. Love the 300 Rum, love the speed I get out of it, love the bullet selection. Just a great all-around rifle for me, and it's taken a absolute lot of bears with it. So I will say too that I do enjoy a rifle scope with a lot of magnification. This is a 36 power Vortex scope, turret system. A lot of bear hunting can potentially be some longer shots if you want to. Otherwise, you can actually get really close to bears as well because they don't have the greatest eyesight, and they're usually walking and feeding a lot in these springtime conditions. You actually can get quite close. So you don't need to have, okay, I'm going to have this big, long, heavy gun and expecting to shoot 700 yards. But it's there if I need to do it and the conditions are right. I will say too, while I like this setup, I do like having a muzzle brake on the front because I like to be able to track my impacts. If that's not your thing, you can obviously use a suppressor too on the front, but this rifle as it's set up right here, I mentioned before the logging road situation because you want to carry a heavy rifle. But because again, I love a really accurate and consistent shooting rifle, and this rifle is that for me, so I don't mind carrying the 14 pounds, 2.6 ounce setup here on a backpack hunt. I backpack with this rifle quite a bit, and at the end of the day, the thing that helps you punch a tag is your optics, finding a bear, and then your rifle to kill an animal, to kill that bear. So I'm okay carrying the weight. I know a lot of people aren't. I'm not saying you have to have a heavy rifle, but again, this is just what I like because it works well for me. I do like having an adjustable stock on the rear. If I need to adjust it on the fly in the hunt, most of the time I can this is already set up for me. Bubble level is going to be essential on the side because bear hunting is going to be all about steep angles. You saw probably in the last bear hunt we did with Omar, shooting at a really severe side angle, had the bipod legs kicked out. That's another point I'll touch on bipods. So this is just the MDT Skypod. A lot of adjustability on it. I can move it around wherever I need to. Kick it back and forth if I can't, and it just works. Obviously, all these other bipods on these rifles I could swap on here to make these weights of this rifle a little bit different, but this is my tried and true setup. Works really, really well. I also really like having the bottom of my rifles set up for full Arca, because again, bear hunting situations, I could be shooting could be glassing from a really steep downhill angle, slope, and bipod might not work, so I actually can mount it right to my tripod and shoot off of with the Arca plate on the bottom. So I will put usually full Arca rails on the bottom. So Salmon River Solutions Arca rail, absolutely love the guys over there. They make really quality products, and yeah, it's just a setup that actually works for me, works really well, and kind of that's all I have to say about this beauty of a rifle here. But yeah, just shoot at the end of the day what you find most confident and be happy with it. But this one for me, being 14 plus pounds, works. All right, that's gonna be the second rifle we're gonna look at in no particular order, but this is gonna be my Browning 6.8 Western. It's the X-Bolt Max Long Range, and just for reference, we'll show you guys the weight. And most people can probably already guess right now that all my rifles are not on the lightweight side. Stop it from shaking here. 12 pounds, 9.2 ounces. So yeah, 12 pounds, 9.2 ounces, so that's roughly almost 2 pounds lighter than the other rifle we just looked at. And then reasons basically why I might go with this rifle setup. This is kind of what I use a lot of times with my training rifle, so I do shoot this rifle all the time. If you're looking at, a rifle that kind of can do it all, this might check a lot of those boxes. It's a little bit lighter, like I said. I do have, again, a heavier optic on here. I have a 25 power Vortex rifle scope. I do have a sunshade on this one. I don't have a sunshade on my other one for whatever reason right now, but I really like having sunshades on my rifles to begin with. But spring bear hunting, it's kind of essential too. A lot of those times you're on weird sloped angles, sun setting in the evening. You might be, taking a shot potentially into the sun, get a lot of sun glare in the front, so I like having that in the front. But this rifle overall is just it's a pleasure to shoot. If you're a person who does not like, a big 30 cal, this does not have much recoil at all for people who are concerned about that. It's a great shooting rifle, great platform to shoot behind. I did keep this one more stock than the other one. The other one you saw was a Macmillan stock on it. This was Browning's, their proprietary stock. On the front, I do have a suppressor on here. Again, that's what I use for training all the time, so I have my suppressor on. I've actually never personally hunted with suppressor. Maybe eventually I will, but I do prefer having a side port muzzle brake. But I just want to talk about suppressor on bear hunting because it actually is, kind of a nice feature to have. I have some friends, unfortunately, who have missed bears before with suppressors, and the bears kind of stay in the same area, and they're actually able to kill the bear after the fact. So if you're a person who likes suppressor, by all means, go for it. Keep in mind this will add a little bit of weight to it, so probably could subtract some of this weight off here for this Banish Backcountry 30 cal suppressor on the front. But overall, this rifle is a treat to shoot behind. Omar killed his first bear with it a couple years ago now. Made a shot at like 400 plus yards, one shot kill. We did recover the bear the next day because it was just a iffy situation, but it works. I would not hesitate, going hunting with a 6.8 Western on a bear. I would prefer always to use something a little bit more, but again, there's times when you just don't need overkill when you're hunting, and this will definitely take down anything you want to hunt with it. Again, on the bottom, this has a different bipod, but I can swap them all between the two. This is just a Rugged Ridge bipod. I do like this is one of the newer generations that actually has 3 different locking spots on the side. And I guess I should have mentioned on the first rifle, but I do like a bipod as well that can go fairly tall. Because a lot of times when you're shooting, when you're bear hunting, we actually might take a lot of uphill angled shots. And if need be in a situation, I could add, my backpack underneath it to get a little bit extra height, or get some leg extensions that Rugged Ridge will sell. It's just really good to have that capability to try to shoot steep uphill angles. And again, you want to be able to adjust it all sorts of different ways. I was trying to adjust the lever here. You can move it around, you can rotate it back and forth, do all that sort of thing, kick it off to the side. And then you'll see too on the bottom on this rifle, because Omar was using it last year with a different bipod, or 2 years ago, that I actually have this one from Salmon River. It's got a Picatinny on the front and then Arca on the bottom. So again, I could attach this onto a tripod if needed for those steep angles. And yeah, just again, sweet little shooting rifle, and taken one bear so far, and I would not hesitate to take it on another bear hunt if weight is a little bit more concerned. Saving 2 pounds off my big gun, I definitely know this will do the job. So that's an option for you as well. All right, the last rifle I want to talk about for consideration for a spring bear hunt is this beauty right in front of me. So this is a Sig Sauer Cross Sawtooth Magnum in 7 PRC. This is a very, I don't know, I guess slightly new rifle to me. I've had it for about a year now. Have not taken this one on a spring bear hunt yet, but I would definitely consider doing it. Recently shot a wild boar with it. It was a really fun hunt. But yeah, the reason I love this rifle is a little bit more compact, which we'll get into a little bit. It's going to weigh a little bit less than my other setups, and I again say that with a very large asterisk because I don't really believe in really ultra lightweight rifles for hunting. But to show you guys the weight of this, as it stands right now, and I'll just set this on top of it because it's not actually going to be a weight on it, it's going to hit the table. We are 11 pounds, 11 ounces. So this is the lightest, again, air quotes, lightest rifle I think that I own. And yeah, so you're looking to save a little bit of weight. Going to backpack style bear hunt, you still want a good shooting rifle. 7 PRC is a great round. I've been shooting a lot lately. Again, this is not one I always use training a ton per se, but I do definitely train in this one a lot more than a 300 round because it's a little bit cheaper for me to shoot and reload for, but it definitely drops some really good groups and really good long range accuracy too. For the scope on here, I just have an 18 power scope. I figure this one's going to be a really good, lighter weight setup than putting a bigger scope on there. So this is the 6-hour Tango DMR. Again, 18 power. Again, the cool feature on this, see if I can move everything around, is the ability to basically break this thing down a lot smaller. So it's the chassis stock with the foldable in the back. So basically I could sit this in a backpack and it's not going to stick really far off the backpack. That's usually some of the downsides with most of the rifles I shoot with 26-inch barrels. And then you throw them on the side of my backpack, or the back of my backpack for that matter, and they stick up so high and they're constantly smacking brush, running into things with them, and constantly have to duck down to try to figure out where my rifle's at. But I can basically pack this thing around just like this in a super comfortable, lightweight, smaller package, and be really set up for just overall maneuverability in the mountains. And again, this is going to have a different bipod on it. I actually have not been able to take us out and hunt with it yet, but this is a Tracer RP bipod. Just like I said in the other ones, I forgot to mention on the first one, so I'm going to get that across. But the reason I like these style bipods again for spring bear hunting is they have a lot of different adjustments on them, and you're actually able to shoot really tall if needed. So you can see this one, for example. If I set it up on here, you're going to lose some stability the higher you go in these bipods, but it has the ability to shoot extreme, uphill angles if need be, and that's really great. Also, on the bottom of this setup, just like all the other ones, I do have a full Arca rail on the bottom from Salmon River Solutions. Mentioned all those benefits before, but I just like to be able to have that, adjust the bipod around if I need to, and then shoot off a tripod for those really steep situations. Other really cool things about this rifle, I do like the proof carbon fiber barrel. I haven't, had a lot of rifles with a carbon fiber barrel. I've killed the mule deer with one. My brother killed an elk last year with one. That's kind of the only really experience I have around carbon fiber. But using this one last year, kind of a treat to shoot with it. Doesn't really save a lot of weight per se, but it looks cool. So if it looks cool, you're going to shoot a bigger bear. And then again, I do have the Snowy Mountain Rifle side port self-timing brake on the front. And the other cool things about this rifle that I can talk about is, again, it's got a bubble level like all the other ones do. And again, just a lighter package in a sense. Still going to have enough accuracy and all that I demand in all my rifle setups. So this is the cool rifle that I really want to take spring bear hunting. I'm actually going to take this year to New Zealand instead of going on a spring bear hunt. So I'm excited to see how it does there. But yeah, overall, absolutely love this rifle. If you're in the market for rifles, any one of these three, any one of the calibers, the cartridges, whatever it may be, I think you guys are going to be golden to go on your next spring bear hunt. So yeah, love this rifle, great shooting. And also one quick thing too, I just really love all the adjustability on the back here for length of pull and how high I have the cheek piece set up here for looking through the rifle scope. So really love this setup a lot, actually. And I did add a little thumb shelf thing here on the side for the safety, so I can rest my thumb on there really nice. But overall, rifle shoots.